I'm Jimi Hendrix, and this is Energetic Living. I don't want to become a part of my environment. I want my environment to become part of me. 19 years ago, I joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they told me, we're happy to have you a part of the family. We got each other, Jimmy. And I don't know, it's really giving me love in my heart. The priesthood is a wonderful, diverse organization. People I know that, some of them I know are great entrepreneurs, leaders, and leaderpreneurs. And that's what this podcast is dedicated to. Reinventing yourself really helps in nowadays with COVID. But I like what Theodore Roosevelt said. He said this: I seek not to preach the doctrine of ignoble ease, but the doctrine of a strenuous life. To know that to achieve success does not mean an easy peace. I have a good friend of mine that will appear on occasion named Bishop Dave and his son Isaiah. He also has a daughter named Kate. Bless her heart, she's a wonderful young lady. The energetic living is so much more than an easy life. If you're looking for an easy life, this isn't the podcast for you. Okay? Because it's so much better. Because we know that life doesn't turn out like the blueprint in your youth. So here we go. Join me on this adventure of energetic living. Now, originally I had a podcast called The Strenuous Life on Spreaker, which has been moved to YouTube, being called Strenuous Life Empowerment. But I couldn't just let it go. So I thought, well, in order to keep things, synonymous, but not the same. Isn't it funny how COVID-19 has forced us to make some changes? But change is good, right? You know what I mean? So this is something that I was sitting there yesterday. I thought, it's going to be a Saturday afternoon. Me being a single guy, I don't really have very many friends to hang out with. In some ways I do, but it's kind of hard with the weather and COVID and all kinds of things. So I thought, well, I'll just create this podcast for you guys. There's going to be some special podcasts, I think, once a month. Other than that, we're going to try to make it, a once weekly thing on Saturdays, because I have a podcast called Leahona Live here on Spreaker. And Leahona Live is on YouTube, okay? That tells you something right there. Now listen to me. It can be very well on YouTube too, on my original channel, James Hendrix. But I'm telling you something. The thing I love about energetic living is you're not always seeking the easy answer. Far too many people in society nowadays are seeking the easy answers, and we can't have that, folks. Okay? Always seeking for just sit there, it's COVID, so just sit there and binge watch whatever we want. Not taking into consideration what the message may be, what the message may bring. Yeah, I preached about that on Leahona Light quite a bit, I think the first 2 episodes. So what can I say, Jimmy here, your Italian, English, Irish, Frenchman here is going to help you live the energetic life, because it's something that can be led. Now, on occasion, I may have some special speeches from some people that I consider top notch. People like Dan Clark and what's that guy's name? It does 3 key elements. Brad Duncan. Dan Clark, Brad Duncan. We're going to have some of those, along with some awesome interviews whenever possible. Things can happen for the good and for the awesomeness, if you know what I mean. You know, I'm going to say this about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints again. Because in a way, I stand with the church in a lot of ways. And I miss going, with COVID knocking us out, I miss going to the temple, sitting there in the temple, receiving the endowments. It's a good thing that I'm able to go partake of sacrament and everything. And if you come across this the first time, I hope you understand that, faith is going to be a big part of this, but also entrepreneurship. We're not preaching the doctrine of ignoble ease here. We're talking about the strenuous life, energetic living. And I love Theodore Roosevelt. No doubt he was probably a complicated man. Like me, he suffered from bipolar disorder, And he was a dynamic speaker, no doubt, and prolific writer. He was a man of deep faith who had his share of adversity, like me. He's one of the heroes, and you're going to hear from a few of the heroes in my personal life as well as the motivational world. So, I hope you don't mind. Because in a way, I'm hoping to take this podcast to maybe I can be at a professional speaking level. Okay? The energetic living. Because energetic living is not seeking success always the easy way. Because I'm going to tell you something. The easy way. Because the way my daddy taught me, there ain't no easy way. I was 21 years old. And I was about a month out from graduating from high school. Maybe a few weeks. And, my daddy, the man that raised me, not my biological father, but my daddy, he called me in and said, "Boy, come here, sit down in the dining room, I got to talk to you." I walked in there. He said, "Boy, I don't know whether it's true, but I kind of hope so. The day's going to come when you're going to be on your own. Don't expect to ask me and Mama to help you out all the time." Let me tell you something. At first, that kind of hurt. At first, kind of stung, but then I thought, hey, a couple of years later, I'm like, Daddy's right. And I said, within a year, I want out of this house. So I transferred over to Texas Tech University to complete my degree. And that made all the difference in the world. And, of course, I received my degree. Sadly, I got married while I was in college, and sadly, that marriage ended in divorce. But on the bright side, it led me to joining the church, and so now, you know where I stand. You know where I'm speaking. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So I want you to think about this. You don't want to be there like a bird in a cage, expecting to live an easy life for the rest of your life. How many of you men know that you're tired of that? How many of you women want to know that you're tired of that? Take care, and God bless.